All right, bladesmiths, I know you guys are probably chomping at the bit to jump into this, but today we're going to do it lentamente, slowly. And by that I mean bit by bit. In this first round of competition, you'll have to take at least 3 different sized drill bits and combine them into a canister to make a Damascus billet from which to forge a signature blade in your signature style that is between 12 and 14 inches in length. Good luck, bladesmiths. Your 3 hours starts now. All right, each of these bladesmiths to make Damascus billets is taking 3 different sized drill bits, loading them into canisters.
I definitely want to avoid any of the milling bits or the high-speed drill bits because I know those are going to have a lot of chromium in them, so it's not going to want to weld. I'm going to go ahead and choose the jackhammer bit and some of the old augers. They're a little more simple, so not a lot to mess with the welds.
Those auger bits out there are really pitted with rust, so there's a lot of cleaning to do to get those nice enough that they are going to weld well.
To tell if these bits are hardenable steel, you need to look at the spark pattern of the steel. Sparks that are long and bursting at the end are very good steels for knife making.
I would say you don't rely on that bit steel at all for your edge. Get that 1095 powder, mark your can so you know where that 1095 is sitting, and just do decorative stuff on the spine of your blade with the bits.
I've never made knives out of bits like this before, so looking at these, I know I have a challenge in front of me. I know some of these bits are going to be mild steel, so I need to put a layer of 1095 down on the bottom, put my bits in the middle, and then cover that with another layer of high carbon steel, then get the cap on. I'm going to keep the can on that's mild steel, but I don't want my mild steel to be on the cutting edge, so I weld a tab on the top, my handle. That lets me know where I want the top of my blade.
My knowledge of canisters is minimal, but I do know with any forge weld, you want to leave it in the forge long enough that it gets hot to the middle. So my rule of thumb is 10 to 15 minutes on that first weld to make sure that it sets correctly.
Big Blue is powerful and fast. I can get this steel moved quickly into the shape I need, but also I can make my steel way too thin.
Boom. There you go. That's one way to get that work stick off of there.
Yeah. But now it's a fight with the tongs to get it off the ground. Are you still using?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Now that my billet is up to the thickness that I'd like and the width that I'd like, I start forging in my tip.
What Sawyer's doing right now is a really good way to put a tip on. If you actually hang just a little bit of the blade over the anvil, when you start working in that tip, the blade doesn't slide away from you.
I have a lot of hammer experience, so I'm very used to forging my tips in by hand.
I'm pretty stoked. Everything looks solid. I'll go shape the tip, I'll shape the tang.
I think I'm gonna go for a large buoy. I do a lot of buoys. They're kind of a iconic American knife.
I'm really enjoying watching Justin work here. Every step that he does has a purpose to it.
I am kind of obsessive compulsive over minute details. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good, so I want to grind off that top layer and make sure there aren't any surprises.
No. I look down and there's a D-lam running through the blade, one running down to the tang. I'm scared to death at this point. If I don't get this fixed, this will be something that will send me home.
Now he's grinding through all the mild steel that was hiding those flaws, and he's coming up big on problems.
Yeah. Lots of beads of weld back there, so there's some kind of crackage going on.
The only thing I can do is weld this together and hope that I got that filled.
Sawyer's blade is quenched.
I take it out, and there's a warp. And it's not a small warp. I need to fix this.
Justin's blade is quenched.
I get it on my straightening jig and hope that everything comes out straight.
Ben's blade is quenched. 3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools, stop what you're doing. This first round is over.
Gentlemen, welcome to the strength test, the cinder block chop. To test the strength and durability of your edges as well as the overall construction of your knives, I'm going to be bashing them mercilessly into these cinder blocks. Remember, this test is all about what those cinder blocks do to your knives. I don't really care what your knives do to the cinder blocks. Justin, you're up first. You ready for this?
Let's do it. I would never in a million years try and smash a cinder block with a knife. Is the thing gonna fall apart? Is it gonna crack? Is it gonna chip? We'll see how it goes.
Well, Justin, first things first, it's all in one piece. Nice job with that. All the welds are still tight and nice. For it to hold up this well in this test is a testament to your abilities. Well done.
Thank you.
Sawyer, how you feeling?
Not good. I'm looking at the cinder blocks and they seem scary. They're big and they're very hard, and I'm super nervous at this point about what's gonna happen to my blade. This is crazy.
Sawyer, well, put this aside for just a second. Let's talk about the rest of your knife. The weight on this was really good. You did a nice job reducing all of that mass. The handle is comfortable, but the big issue, of course, is the break. There is a weld here that runs up here and through, and if you look at the end here, there's a dark spot. That weld was incomplete. It didn't show up as a crack externally. We didn't see it, but it was there, and it was just ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Sawyer, your blade has suffered a catastrophic failure during our strength test on the 4th strike, but that doesn't mean that you're out of this competition just yet. Because, Ben, your blade has to survive 4 strikes in order for you to move forward in this competition. Ben?
This is a crazy test. I'm a nervous wreck. I know I gotta make it 4 hits on mine. The D-Lam is definitely scaring me.
See this weld that ends in these cracks right here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord. Ben's pointing out the D-Lam.
Well, how do you feel about the integrity of the blade? I mean, do you want to test it?
I am praying that he can still test my blade.
Well, Ben, there's a little issue with your blade here. It seems to be a delamination that runs perpendicular to the blade. Usually a crack in this position would be an extreme stress riser, causing a fracture almost definitely. It doesn't, however, go to the other side of the edge. So I've confirmed with my colleagues, and I feel safe enough to give it a try.
Just tap it in.
Just tap it in.
Yeah, tap it in.
No.
It's gonna break the first hit.
I don't know, man.
No, it will. Whoa, my knees are shaking. I would have never thought that.
Ben, congratulations by a kitty whisker. Your blade survived. Sawyer, that means that your blade doesn't make the cut. Please exit the forge over here to your right.
I'm a little disappointed, not gonna lie. It's pretty sad. I hate to see a blade break. Appreciate it.
It was a violent effort.
Thank you. Apparently there was just something within the steel that just didn't quite weld right. But I love the competition. I had so much fun doing it.
Sorry, awesome job. Appreciate it.
When I get home, I'm gonna sleep for 13 hours straight probably. And then I'm gonna go to the shop and do some canister Damascus.